had the opportunity over the last couple of days to read the opening of your book, Michael, Contract Rwanda.
Mhm.
And um, first, I have to tell you, I love any book that takes me someplace that I have never been and probably will never will go. And if you've read enough of my books now to know that that's really what I write about. I mean, there are very few people that will ever be out on a remote Aleutian island, in waist deep grass with no trees for 1,000 miles in any direction. So I love that kind of stories. Um, so, what prompted you to pick up or to your notes or whatever you did and start writing this book?
The When I retired from the military, I knew that I wanted to write. I'd been making notes and doing small stuff most of my career, and so originally I went into military science fiction. I mean, it was the military. It was something I knew about, and anything I wrote about space, nobody would know unless they were an astronaut. But I didn't see the market there. And so I had a number of friends that were making a name for themselves in the thriller genre. And so that was the way that I went. But the thing is I didn't want to get caught up in politics. And I wanted some place that people had never been before because it gave me a chance to do my own research.
Mhm.
And so I picked a retiring, for lack of better terms, a mercenary, now called a
Consultant.
military contractor.
Yeah.
And and so then it was like, okay, where do I really want to do this? So I looked at one of probably the most peaceful countries going right now, and that was Rwanda. And so that would be a sharp contrast to anybody that's been out there on the out in East Africa. It'd be like, oh, okay. And so that would bring up the most surprises in there,
Mhm.
and trying to do it, write it in a way that in reality it could possibly even happen.
Well, first, if if it doesn't ring true, um, the book is just not going to work. Um, so it has to be written in a way that could really happen. Um, and almost every book that gets written, there are snippets anyway of real world, real
Mhm.
experiences, real history in them. Um, I congratulate you on the thought process of trying to stay away from politics. I don't know that it's possible and write thrillers, um, because it seems to be the vast majority of thrillers, with the exception of the local bad sheriff that everybody's trying to bring down. Almost all of them have some element or elements of politics in them. Um, but the critical piece, if you're going to write about politics, is to try and find some way to take the bad stuff and try to correct it and still remain neutral, which is really a challenge in today's political world. So,
Mhm.
um, have you spent time in Rwanda?
No, no, I haven't. Um, Parts of Africa, but not in Rwanda itself. So it's caused me to do a lot of research.
That's
Uh,
good.
One of the elements that hasn't appeared there in the chapter, as a matter of fact, it's been in one of the chapters that I've written over the last 24 hours, is that there's an element of China going on in the background, as well as the Wagner group is still alive and well in the Congo. And so you will see them, hints of them, continue throughout the rest of the storyline, to give it that contemporary feel of what's really going on over there.
Um, well, you've read my books well enough to know that there's a little bit of China in every one of them. Uh,
Mhm.
it is, it is. I don't know if you call it political or geopolitical, but the real current challenge to this country is China,
Mhm.
and both from a positive standpoint and negative standpoint, and any given moment can go either direction. The the fascinating thing about China's involvement is they are doing it very differently than we did. Was that your experience when you were traveling in Africa as well? I mean, that the U.S., really built around donations and grants and programs that we funded, where China has really done most of their support through debt, and helping people build things that they can maybe someday afford, but if they can't, China owns it.
Correct. And you can see that they're establishing a footprint in there, whether it's whether it's there with in strength, or it's going on behind the scenes. You see a lot of going on behind the scenes, and especially as I started researching and digging down, is all of a sudden now I'm seeing a Chinese connection, or a connection to corporations
Mhm.
that are associated with China.
Did
And that's what's intrigued me the most, and has caused some changes occurring in the new version of the book.